Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
I love how I don't know. Steve gets such a giddy. He just like, should we record? Should we hit it? And it just starts giggling.
Let's just jump into the abyss. Let's just
light
it up.
I like that. That's joy, man. That's pure joy right there.
Well, that's what this does.
Oh man,
It's one of my favorite parts of my week right here.
and I was having the
Joel's like, no, I kind of got busy.
I'm gonna work after that podcast. I don't
Come
think I
on,
can
man.
do it.
Come on. We have dozens of listeners, Joel.
Yeah, we have a brand to uphold.
That's
here.
what I'm saying.
Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with
Speaking
Joel
of.
and Steve. I'm drinking coffee out of the mug.
Oh yeah, you are. Look at that,
Mm-hmm.
man. We gotta stand up our store, our merch arm. Our merch manager's really lagging, actually.
Yeah, I think we need to can them.
Sure. If there's anybody out there that thinks you're our merch manager, you're really dropping the ball.
You know where the thing really is? Let's make a round of t-shirts. I'll throw in on some t-shirts.
Shirts?
Yeah, with our faces on them like that.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
We're gonna do we got to do our park tour.
Yeah.
Summer.
You think we actually ought to do that this summer? Like actually go do it?
Yeah, or backyard recording.
Sure. I was listening to the Always Chillin' dudes this week, and they were talking about like they didn't think they could do their show live. I'm like, sure you can. You're already doing it live.
Yeah, they already are.
You just have the ability to edit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to the Always Chillin' dudes. Way to
man.
Keep the mics hot.
They're cool. Also, it was kind of a cool. I mean, we live in a small town, essentially, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Right.
But I saw the other day that Mike Simrad had Darren Keene on his Dishing with Musicians.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that one yet, but I'm looking forward to it because I'm sure that's going to be a great conversation.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. So support your local podcasts, even if it's not ours. Always
support
chillin'.
by liking and subscribing and reviewing, please.
All of our stuff, their stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of podcasts, I am on a deep dive of a serial podcast that my friend Shane Pearson turned me on to, called The Rise and Fall of Mars Hill.
Ooh.
We had a conversation, and it kind of turned out that he was like that. He found that podcast very helpful to him, but it's all about this very ultra conservative evangelical church in Seattle called Mars Hill Church, not to be confused with Rob Bell's former Mars Hill Bible Church, whatever, because we like Rob Bell. But
yes,
there's this guy, Mark Driscoll, that was the head pastor. He's still a pastor somewhere, this very meticulous multi-episode expose on how he kind of fell from prominence there and how he got kicked out and how the church was like this mega church that completely, I don't know why I'm fascinated with that shit. I think it's like
because you grew up in it.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. I did. Yep.
But I'll listen to that.
The Rise and Fall of Mars Hill. It is. Right. And the cool thing is like it bears and we've made these connections before with more piss and vinegar than intellectual curiosity, but the similarities between the rise of somebody like former pastor Mark Driscoll and Donald Trump is astounding. It's really, if anybody wants to it's kind of dark though. Like I had to take a break from it.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah, it's dark. It's fucked up. It's very misogynistic. It's not for the faint of heart. The way that they emotionally manipulate women in the church is really fucked up. And anyway, but it's fascinating.
So it's like Donald Trump.
Dude, on you. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there's that. Not that I want that to be the topic today. I was just,
Sure.
talking about podcasts. So.
Well, now all my good feelings are gone.
Wait. You had good feelings? What were those good feelings?
I did have good feelings. I spoke at one of the secret meetings this morning.
Yeah.
That was good, man. It was really emotional, actually.
I watched it from home on my couch.
Good for you.
I was like, oh man, I hope Steve doesn't think I'm a bad friend because I didn't show up in person, but
it's fine.
It was very nice to just sit there and have some coffee.
How was the production quality? Could you hear and see? And
oh yeah, the only thing is like I put my remote earbuds in, and so when the whole room starts clapping or talking or laughing, it's a little much for me to take in. But everything sounded fine.
They had one of those blue microphones used for stuff, podcasting and room recording. So yeah, I'm glad. It's cool. It's neat that they can offer that. And that works in a speaker meeting situation.
100%. Yeah, it worked out.
The laptop at whoever's speaking and put the mic there and boom. Very cool.
Great. Yeah, no, it was great. So you were pretty open and vulnerable, man. I thought that was great.
Well, that was kind of, I really felt, how do I want to say this? Like, going in and sharing your whatever life recovery story in front of 100 strangers is kind of a daunting task,
Yeah.
Be really easy to make it about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this time I really felt like, I was trying to help the newcomer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've definitely had those moments. Like I've had those in like speaking situation or even just sharing at a meeting or like even like teaching, like I'm going to kill this. I'm going to blow some minds. And it's like 3 steps in and I'm like, oh, that's not the energy to take in with this.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. It's good. I mean, it's just nice. It's nice to be able to be asked to do anything. And I've, I've kind of got a patter down, I guess now. Like I have a couple of things that I like to touch on, that are just good. They're just good podium stories, basically.
Yeah.
I
really identified when you talk, and this is an analogy you've brought up before, but I really loved. You're like, when you were younger, you wish you had a hole.
A portable hole.
Like a Bugs Bunny hole you could just throw on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably where I got it from, is Bugs Bunny, actually.
Yeah, that's what I always envision.
Yeah.
Is Bugs Bunny just like tossing this hole out in front of him and climbing into it?
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that tracks for me too, man.
Yeah, I always wanted that, man. Or wish, just anything.
Yeah.
Just until hide. Yeah. Or just not deal. Or
yeah.
Yeah. The playground was really intense.
It really was. There's
especially if you didn't really have friends.
Oh, and like the feeling of like, I got to go out here and socialize, but I don't know where. I mean, you're kids, so like, it's like, who's my enemy today? You don't know.
Kind of, yeah, right.
You don't know,
right? Who's gonna come up and shank me?
Yeah, you have no idea. You're like, I was that kid one time. I'll never forget. I was playing soccer, and this kid I was in elementary school with. He was playing goalie and I was like right in front of him trying to defend or whatever. And I just decided at the last minute to switch teams when the ball got passed to me because I wanted to score a goal.
Oh God.
So I turned around and like scored the goal and he's like, what the hell? And I'm like, gotcha. I'm like, it's like, it's total wild kingdom out there. You don't know who's.
In this case, you were the wild kingdom.
100%.
You were the turncoat.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
But then you knew, like, you go out there the next day or even the afternoon recess, and you might be on the business end of that.
Right. Well, I was all, in the things where, you divide up the teams or whatever. I was always I guess we'll take Herbauer,
Yeah. Yep.
Because I had no social or physical, no social skills, no athletic skills, I guess whatever we'll take.
I was kind of always the runt, scrawny, not very fast, a little asthmatic. I was never picked first. I was never picked first.
Yeah.
That's when I learned how to tell jokes.
Sure. There you go. Yeah. See, I never learned that either. So
that's how I learned how to be funny.
Right. You got to have something.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly, self-loathing doesn't really sell on the playground.
It really doesn't. Like overt cowardice isn't really praised in third grade.
It's not, weirdly.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for overt cowardice.
Yeah, man.
I think everybody has it to a certain extent. Some people just manifest it differently than others.
Oh, and there's no like narrative when you're a kid at that time.
Nope.
I don't know if things are different now, but there's no narrative. Like
everything's different now.
Yeah. Like
there's probably a YouTube channel about it.
There's a YouTube. What?
No, I'm saying there's probably a YouTube channel about
100%.
Whatever, you know,
like talk about your feelings, be vulnerable. It's okay to be scared today. Like I'm sure there's messaging out there, which is fucking awesome.
Right.
Because that's not what I learned.
Well, I just look at my kids. I mean, they don't watch TV. They watch YouTube.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like there's like, they can't even compute like the concept of, because I'm old enough that we had 4 channels and one of them was PBS.
Yeah. Right.
And then you just watched what was on. That was it. And what was on was crap.
Yep.
you know,
you were you had to watch whatever like the kids program was.
Right. You watched the afternoon kids programming.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I either, and there was some of like, I fucking hate this, but I'd rather watch this.
But we didn't know any different. It was just what you watched. Weird.
Yeah.
Now that I look back on it, like that, ugh, you know.
And now kids can like
watch literally everything anytime.
Yeah, and they can also cater their programming. They can
curate their own feed.
Yep, they're their own TV guide.
Yeah, which is kind of good, and I kind of also not so great sometimes.
Yeah,
because they're already learning to, you know, they're already fitting the algorithm to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sign into YouTube. That's it, man.
Yep.
Like with your Gmail account, like you're setting up your algorithm for ever, basically.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But fortunately, like we keep pretty close tabs on what they're watching, and it's a lot of it's really awesome, actually. Some of the like podcasters they watch are great. Some of them are crap, but whatever. Like they get to be, you know,
not everybody can be us. You know
exactly.
I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody can be us. And why would they want to be?
Yeah.
I can't handle that kind of pressure.
I mean, we're podcasting moguls.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I noted with some self-satisfaction that our numbers are trending back up again. We were kind of in a bit of a slump.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's about.
I don't know. Maybe people are just desperate for entertainment.
Well, desperation probably has a lot to do with it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe people are getting out more, doing more shit, and putting on podcasts and maybe curating their algorithm. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. We're happy to be part of your algorithm.
I wonder if I mean, I'm kind of in charge of the channels, and you know, the last few weeks of my life, wow, fuck, dude. Shit's been nuts since February. I've just been going like shows after shows after shows. But I wonder if we put a little more. I'm back on Facebook now.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I'm off Instagram. So
I noticed that. So like
I'm off the grams.
You got to take a break, dude. That's totally legit. But
well, it's actually like, it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's weirdly nice. Like, it's weird. I haven't really missed, like, I kind of need to be on Facebook just because that's where people talk about shit, you know, mm-hmm. like that's how you find out about stuff and like the band and all that, you know, but they can all just go to hell. I don't care.
Well, that's the thing. Like if you're creating events, if you're doing things like
you have to be on Facebook
shows, like that's what brought me back to Facebook. It was right around a couple weeks ago when the Pearl Jam tour was announced and I could get tickets. I know that I was like, if I get locked out, I know of 3 different Facebook groups that I'm involved in that somebody would hook me up with, you know, like if I got locked out of a good seat, I'll just get on there and get a ticket. Like I know those groups, they're really they're really supportive and loving, except when you're a shithead, then they're not as kind.
Good. Right.
But yeah, so I came back and I realized that since October, I pretty much deactivated my account.
You had for a while. Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't, it was nice. I didn't give a shit about anybody. I mean, it's shitty, but I'm like, I don't know I don't have no idea who had a birthday, except if it was my wife or my family. I have no idea.
That's how it was in the before times.
Yeah. You had to know.
Either that or you had like a calendar.
Oh yeah. Calendar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The before times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, man, I'm like, I've got some cool shit coming up. I'm like, maybe I could push if I wanted to create a page for the podcast, I could do that.
You could do that.
I could do that.
Sure.
See if our numbers tick up and we can finally quit our jobs. And
yeah, dude, what are you doing? Come on.
I know. The temptation to be like, you know what? Oh man,
let's monetize this bitch.
Fuck. I mean, if I had a decent satellite dish on a Sprinter van and we could make a nominal, I can't even talk, nominal income from this, Kirsten, I would be sending her just like, let's go, let's sell the house, let's get out of here, let's hit the road, I'm out, let's go.
Some of those Sprinter vans are pretty nice.
I know. I've been really, that is a toxic trait of mine. I'm like, that's my Bugs Bunny hole.
Right. The Sprinter van.
I just want to run.
Yeah. Oh, I talked about that this morning. Cut and run, man. Yeah. So you guys are unencumbered, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Not for, well, let's see. About 5 more years. Then we'll see.
I'm curious to know what an empty nest Urbauer household looks like.
Yeah.
I think you guys might blow it out.
We're going to get weird. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, the kids are going to live here while they go to college. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll have a key. They can come and go.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Maybe we'll build them like the what is it? The mother-in-law entrance.
Yes. That's probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Just make like the downstairs, like an apartment.
Yep. Put a camera on the door just to be
right. Yeah.
That might not be a bad idea, but
right. Yeah, we'll see how all that shakes out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Francesca wants to go to Harvard, so I tell her, well, do good in school, kid. Get those scholarships.
But yeah, I don't want to hear any complaints about homework then.
That's right, pretty much. Yeah.
That's the leverage you have right there. Like, yeah, you can totally get into Harvard. You just got to have a stellar GPA. Yeah, mm-hmm. Starting now.
Oh, and by the way, do all of the activities.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. If we can get her into a rowing crew, you know what I mean?
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Where the hell do you row crew in Nebraska? The Platte River.
Exactly. I don't know. Do you guys have a lake near you now?
Yeah, it's about big enough to put the boat in. My sister rowed crew in high school.
Where?
Well, in Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
On the Potomac and the Schuylkill River up in Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were not always around here.
Right. Yeah, no, she did crew hardcore.
That is hardcore shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They do a rowing club out at Holmes Lake, but it's not a river. It's not a you get like 3 good strokes in and you're on the other side. Exactly.
Yeah. Then you got to turn the boat around.
Exactly. And those aren't exactly nimble boats.
No, they're designed to go in one direction.
But the rivers they do that on in competition, are they like irrigation canals or something? Because they have
I don't know.
Waves. Nothing.
I think I honestly couldn't tell you where Libby rode for practice.
Mm-hmm.
It was down in a town. I think practice was in a town called Woodbridge, Virginia, which is not it was 20 minutes from us. But I don't know what body of water. The only meet of theirs that I went to was on the Schuylkill in Philadelphia.
That's a sweet name for a river,
right? Mm-hmm. It was really beautiful, actually. That was it was a really cool day.
But how do you watch? You can only really be in one spot, and then they just zoom by, and you're like, "Yay, go!" And then that's it.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And I honestly, I don't remember a lot of that day.
Okay. Got it.
But I remember it being nice and me thinking, boy, this is really, because there's all these boat houses and it's just really pretty and picturesque and, it's neat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think she really enjoyed that. She'd get her on here. Why am I not talking? Why didn't I have my sister on here?
I don't know. That's low hanging fruit, man.
Libby, I don't even know if you'd want to do this, but if you do, I'm sorry.
Oh, Libby, I totally want to talk to you.
Oh, she's fascinating.
I've only met her like maybe once.
Yeah, she's really good people, and has had a pretty interesting career, and is just a far out person in general.
She's in Seattle, isn't she?
Correct. She works for Microsoft.
Dude,
as for many moons.
We bought insanely priced airline fare to go out there this July.
For what? What's the occasion?
Fun.
The hell of it. Oh yeah, good. You're gonna love it. You've never been there, have you?
No, we fly into Seattle and then we're going to drive around down to Oregon and Portland and then drive back, fly out of Seattle.
That'll be great. That'll be a great trip. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Seattle's awesome. I love it there.
I've never been.
Very cool. Of course, the only times that I've been there are to visit, and it's always been sunny, which is kind of not the norm. So,
what's it? Is July rainy or is like summer like nice?
I've only been there in the summer or like late spring.
Okay.
And it's been sunny basically every day.
Perfect.
Yeah, you should be all right. But, expect it to be damp.
Yeah, I'm looking at rain jackets. Speaking of the algorithm, I looked at one rain jacket from an Instagram ad, and now the entire Meta company thinks I want to buy every rain jacket ever.
Ever, yeah. Mm-hmm. Weird.
I'm like, I'll spend the extra fucking $30 to go down to Moose's Tooth and buy it if I don't have to like deal with the avalanche of catered ads for this.
Plus, Moose's Tooth is just cool, and they're local. Cool. We should support them.
Today's episode brought to you by Moose's Tooth, outdoor company.
That's right. Algorithm free.
Yeah, I'm stoked on that to go out there.
Yeah, there's some places I'll have to like. There's a really awesome MoMA. Is it what it's called? It's called?
Yeah. Mopop.
Sure. Got to go there. Hit the Space Needle.
There's a museum of popular culture out there.
That's it. Yep.
That I really want to go to because I think it's still there, but you can see the nerdery around me.
Right.
There's a whole Pearl Jam exhibit
out
there.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got all the things that I definitely want to see.
Yeah. So, you're going to like it out there. It's,
we've got like spots to stay in Olympic National Park and shit.
Oh, cool.
And we have plans to go to the Goonies house and shit in Astoria.
Oh, really?
In Oregon. Yeah.
Nerd.
I'm going to do the truffle shuffle outside of that house. I think it's like privately owned. I don't think it's like a Goonies museum or anything.
You have to put that on the grams or something. I want to see Joel do the truffle shuffle.
I'll take one for the team.
Oh my God. That's beautiful.
I'm literally like, it's like a weird like pilgrimage. Like I know I'm gonna cry seeing that shit.
Here's the thing, dude. My kids didn't like that movie. I know.
I don't know what to. I mean, I don't fault them.
I almost sold them.
Like I'm trying to think of like movies that my parents really wanted me to dig that I didn't dig.
Yeah.
I mean, my
kids did not like the Goonies. They did not like Ghostbusters. But they're all in on Ferris Bueller, so
okay, well,
that's a win. I'll take that.
The Ghostbusters thing, is that why they keep trying to remake it? Because they know that like it's funny, it's a good concept, and we're trying to recreate it, but the special effects really weren't bad for 1986.
Well, I think it was just a completely because it's like a comedy movie that's also a horror movie.
Yeah,
and I think it just kind of
Mm-hmm.
Some of the comedy, like they're just too young for. It's just they just didn't get it. And
yeah,
I mean, like the scene at the beginning when Bill Murray's doing his experiments and torturing that poor guy while trying to make it with the woman. Yeah, they were just like that whole thing. They were just like, "What the hell is going on? I don't understand this." And I'm like, "Okay, all right,
yeah." Oh,
we're gonna have to revisit Bill Murray though, because.
Yeah.
I mean, because they don't have any concept of who that is. They've seen him kind of in passing a couple times.
You haven't shown him Caddyshack yet, have
we
you?
Haven't gotten to Caddyshack.
Yeah.
They need to be a little bit older for that because
I agree.
It's not a kids movie. Like all of the humor in it is a little. It's like it's an adult movie with lots of juvenile humor.
100%.
I mean, the name of the country club is Bushwood,
and it's a little. I mean, I don't know that even hip young women, I don't know that they would really find a lot of the misogyny that funny in that movie either.
There's some, but is it good-natured misogyny? I don't know.
Is there such a thing, Steve?
That's my point. But is it misogyny?
It's misogyny, but it's all in good fun.
There's the obligatory late 70s, early 80s, scene with the breasts.
Right.
Because that you have to have, and
Porky's, all.
Yeah. Well, just anything.
Yeah.
There's the obligatory scene with the breasts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to watch that
because it's like even Chevy Chase and the blonde girl from New York. I mean, she was no angel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is a level of sort of blanket debauchery all around Bushwood.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is kind of just like it's like Animal House in that way. It's like,
right. There's no heroes in that movie.
No.
Right.
Nope.
Right. And it delights in that.
Yeah.
The snobs versus the slobs.
I think about that. I don't know. That's interesting. Like thinking about, I don't know. One of my colleagues was talking about in passing. They were talking about Blazing Saddles. And like classic. That movie at the time, I mean, my dad, that was like the movie my dad really wanted me to love. And I did actually.
Oh, he's serious? See, I was forbidden to watch it.
I remember the farting scene.
Oh yeah. That's the scene that gets the most press, but it's the least offensive scene in the whole movie.
100%. Right.
Yeah.
But like some of the other stuff, like a colleague was talking about, it's like, well, I mean, at the time, nobody racism obviously was a thing, and like being able to talk about racism and like call it out was a thing.
Uh-huh.
But that movie was not at the time considered inherently overtly racist.
Well, I think
when you watch it now, you're kind of like,
but here's to me watching it now is that it was actually because Richard Pryor was originally supposed to play Cleavon Little's part, but he couldn't for some reason.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so Richard Pryor wrote a lot of those jokes. Like he was one of the writers of the film with Mel Brooks.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he, like Cleavon Little, Richard Pryor was supposed to play that part.
I cannot see anybody else but him playing.
Well, right. That's because he was perfect and amazing in it. But so my point is that to me, it's almost like it's lampooning the racism.
100%. And I think that's the genius of Mel Brooks.
Yes.
Is that he did that at a time when that wasn't even a thing. People, you know what I mean? It was
that's what I'm like. Everybody remembers. It's like the Grateful Dead being known for Casey Jones.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a little bit more happening there than that. Like that movie, I think was very just groundbreaking on that level. Like we're dragging it wide out in the open and laying it all out for everybody to see.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so, I don't think it has a lot to do with racism.
No,
but it's not racist, I don't think. And I could be very wrong about that. That's
interesting. That's the beauty of the thematic stuff that they dance through.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make it about. They easily could have, though. I mean, there were moments when he comes riding into town where they say the things.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it could have been about that, but it's not. It's just it's taking shots at Mel Brooks wanted to make a Western, so he made Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks wanted to make a horror movie, so he made Young Frankenstein. Like,
God, I need to watch that movie again.
Oh my God. Gene Wilder in that is fucking.
I've actually heard that in the last couple of years, like how good that movie is, and I haven't watched it. I need to rent it and watch it.
You do.
Okay.
Who else is in that? Wow, God, the sort of female lead in that.
It's not Madeline Kahn, is it?
No,
because she's one of the go-tos for.
I'm gonna Google it. I'm doing it.
You do it, man.
It's fantastic. I watched that during COVID because I was like I didn't really want, I mean, the world was definitely scary. Mm-hmm. So right around the time of, Halloween, I didn't want to watch I like to watch some scary stuff around Halloween, sure. But I found all the fun, stuff. So I was like, oh, dude, no, Madeline Kahn is in it. Terry Garr is who I'm thinking of.
Oh, Terry. Sure. She's so great.
She's fantastic in that.
Mm-hmm. I kind of forgot about her. She's good just in general.
Yeah, she was great. But Madeline Kahn is in that. But Terry Garr is fantastic. And Cloris Leachman. Cloris Leachman in that is just, she puts on a clinic of comedic acting.
Okay, I'm in because I love her. Do you know the movie High Anxiety?
Yes, but
her and Harvey Korman. That's the best movie couple I've ever seen.
I know I've seen it, but
let's just say she has a special closet that she ties him up in.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
Oh my God, that movie's so great.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you revisit Young Frankenstein.
Okay, all right, I'll put it in the bubble. Yeah, I watch Blazing Saddles probably like once a year just for the hell of it.
I need to. I bought it on Blu-ray used. A few months ago. Mm-hmm. I bought like that and The Godfather and a few other. They just nice. Had I was at this used video store and it was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna grab these.
You know what? You haven't seen that movie Nebraska yet, have you?
No.
Holly hasn't seen it. That's what we need to do is you and Kirsten need to come over to our house. We need to have dinner and watch Nebraska.
Dude, I'm so in for that shit.
Mm-hmm. Because that movie's so great. It's so great.
I need to see the house. We need to hang out. We need to be.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the house yet.
I haven't seen the house yet.
We've only been here since December, dude. What the hell?
Dude, I'm about unloaded. I have done. I will have done and been a part of.
I know we've been a little busy.
3 consecutive theatrical productions.
Wow.
It's been a wild spring, man, and it's like I got to take a page from my colleague Jeff's book. Yesterday it was like, work call, and we got tech rehearsal today that I have to run out of here for. But it's like, always a mad dash. This director always loves to put a bunch of props and gimmicks, and it's like kind of our job to make all that happen, and it's fun. Right. But it's a little not in the right frame of mind. You kind of want to blow it all up.
Right.
But we show up to work call yesterday, and he is just like a pig in shit, just like, welcome to the shit show. And it's like, man, I learned a great lesson. I'm like, yeah, that is the best attitude.
The great attitude.
Into. Just like,
I do that at work a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, when I get a call and somebody starts talking about, well, the thing and it's not, and I can't, and I don't know, and I did the thing, and now it's even worse, and I just go, we'll be right over. Right? Like, here we go. Let's dive in.
Man. I need to do that more because I was showing up kind of freaked out about all the things we had to get done, and that attitude just changed the vibe. Everybody was like,
"It's sweet,
like, yeah, let's go.
Welcome to the shit show."
Yeah, and then because that I think as a prevailing attitude in the world is really helpful.
I call that I got that concept from the Woodstock grin. Which is the promoters of Woodstock when they realized that they were going to lose their ass. They were going to lose. They were so screwed financially once they realized that people were just coming in and they just looked at each other and went, well, here we go. And like, what are we going to do? Jimi Hendrix is playing on stage. There's 500,000 people here. I guess we'll just eat it.
Nothing left to do but smile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, man. Well,
wasn't there like, I feel like, I don't know if it was pre-Woodstock or during the shit show, but like I saw this interview with him, and there's like a news crew out on the field looking over the masses coming in or already there. And he just rolls up on a fucking motorcycle in the middle of the pasture, just like, and he like does this interview, whips a cookie and leaves. It was amazing.
Huh. I haven't seen that.
I think that was pre though. I think it was they were all full of hope.
Sure. Yeah. Well, of course they were.
Yeah.
I have a dog here that was demanding attention. Well, last night, Holly and I were killing a little time. We were waiting for daughter number 1 to get home from a thing. And I was just flipping through YouTube, and there was a little documentary on the US Festival. Do you know the US Festival?
No.
That's so funny because Holly was like, why have I not heard of this? Hold on a sec. Dog, here's the thing.
I know. This dog's really getting in the way of our consistent fucking...
Or our lack of consistency.
She doesn't want to leave.
Whatever. So the US Festival, oh my God. Holly was like, how have I not heard of this? It was in San Bernardino Valley in California in 1982, paid for by Steve Wozniak, formerly of Apple Computers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Steve wanted to throw a big party, have a big concert.
Right.
And I mean, the list of headliners included, the Police, the B-52s, bands that were kind of popular at the time.
Yeah.
And it was 150,000 people, maybe more. And so, yeah, this is just a little documentary, like the back end of that, like how it came together. And they took, Woz had the money, like he hired, basically they started a company, a corporation to throw the festival, to put it on. And he cut the 2 principals a check for $2 million and said, go make it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I mean, he says, he's like, I had more money than any person should ever have. So I wanted to do something fun with it.
And did it happen?
Yeah. Oh, very much so. 2 years, actually, 82 and 83.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's the age difference. Cause even Holly didn't, she was like, how have I never heard of this? I'm like, I don't know. It was huge. I was 11 when it happened.
Oh yeah. No.
And, but yeah, it was a really big deal. I'm not sure what the point was there. Oh, Woodstock.
Right.
And then they learned, they were like, we do not want this to be another Altamont, which was only like 13 years earlier. So that was still kind of fresh in people's minds,
Totally.
Which was a total and complete shit show from soup to nuts. But they just spent an ungodly amount of money to make it as comfortable as, and Bill Graham, of course, was involved.
Yeah.
And, so there's some good footage of Bill Graham being Bill Graham, which is great. He was a divisive character, simply because of the fact that it was literally his way, or you can fuck off straight off.
Yeah,
know. But
he earned that clout.
Oh, 100% by putting on the best concerts. Shows. Putting on the best concerts, and so
he pretty much did that shit right up until the end of his life, right?
Because 100%. Well, he was literally flying away from a pavilion in Concord, California, coming from a Huey Lewis in the News show. And when his helicopter hit power lines,
he was
very much active until, like he basically invented the concert industry we know and basically hate today. but any time you've ever walked out of a, arena concert or show and thought, that was pretty cool, you can thank Bill Graham.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he set the standard there, he wanted and it was all, it was always tonight's event brought to you by Bill Graham Presents,
Bill Graham Presents.
Yes. But it was very like, he was a complete hard ass, but it was in the name of, and it was all about his name, but it was also in the name of providing the highest quality experience. And sometimes he ran into opposition with that,
Right.
So,
because when did he die?
91.
Okay. Because his company lived on after that.
I'm sure. I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure it's still going. Well, it's probably like BGP or something. Bill Graham Presents.
Again, part of my nerddom with Pearl Jam is looking past, and somebody posted a bunch of they had collected tickets because they were complaining about the concert industry right now, and
which is
how it's a total shit show. But like, I got really nice. I paid a pretty penny for Pearl Jam tickets, but I didn't pay platinum, or I didn't get fucked. I mean, I got legit tickets, but they were complaining, but they were like kind of what we're doing right now, like the good old days, and they were showing all these tickets they collected. And there was like a 96 Pearl Jam show that said Bill Graham presents. So I didn't really understand like when he passed. It's like if he was still doing it well into the 90s.
Well, when I saw in 2001, Chris Meek, and a couple other folks went out to Red Rocks to see Phil Lesh play a couple nights, and Phil did a blood drive the afternoon of the second show, and we went out to that, and I know I donated blood and got to meet Phil. I got his autograph, but I have this black T-shirt with a really great photo of Bill Graham on the front with one of his action faces, like he's looking, what the fuck's going on over there kind of thing. And on the back, it says cheers, Bill, like in his autograph, And I'm standing in line, kind of just spacing off, waiting for Phil or whatever. And this big dude comes up to me and he looks at me kind of seriously and says, "You have a shirt with Bill Graham on like," and he's like, "Why?" Very point blank, like out of nowhere. I don't know this guy, but he's imposing. Right.
Yeah, right.
And I thought, okay, this is an intense moment. I should probably answer the question, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I never met Bill Graham. I'm going to start crying.
Yeah, man.
I said, I never met Bill Graham, but his work had a very powerful effect on my life. And I'm just really grateful, for what he did. And the guy kind of stood up and smiled and said, "My name's Rob Barsotti. I was Bill Graham's right-hand man for 30 years.
Wow.
It was cool. It was a really neat moment.
He was checking you out, man. He was
I think, because not many people wear shirts with Bill Graham on them, you know.
You see Steal Your Face shit
the whole
all day,
all the tie dyes and all that. Just a black T-shirt with Bill Graham giving "what the fuck is going on over there" look, Yeah. And so he just came over to say hi, basically.
Wow.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Because that, like, he was bringing 30 years of history and to that conversation. It was cool. I'll never forget that.
That's wild. Cause like he saw that look of, and I know the T-shirt you're talking about because I've seen you wear it and I didn't know what it meant for so long.
Yeah.
But he's seen that look from him. It's like, it's just it's like if somebody like had a picture of you on a fucking, like our T-shirts that we're going to make this summer that you can buy.
Right.
Like why the fuck you got that on, man?
Right. Kind of. I mean, that's kind of, it was really like, it wasn't malevolent.
Yeah.
But it was also serious.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like he wanted to see if I was a complete jackass.
Right. That's what I mean. Like he was like, is this kid just wearing this?
Yeah. Did you buy it at Target? Do you have any idea what you're representing right now?
Like, oh, I don't know. I just know it's Bill Graham. I don't know. Grateful Dead, man.
Right. Kind of. Yeah. I don't know. He did something,
I wanted to be cool at the show. What do you think?
Right. But I mean, like I saw Bill Graham walking around the Oakland Coliseum, checking shit out, when one of the highest, and I don't mean that in an intoxicated sense, but one of the highest moments of my whatever Grateful Dead career or whatever was seeing the Jerry Garcia band at the Oakland Coliseum on Halloween of 1992. Garcia had been sick that summer and he came back. It was his first show back for starters, and he looked great. But what was important was that like Ken Kesey was there. Bill Graham was there. No, Bill Graham was not there. Forget I said that. Dates are wrong. He couldn't have been there. My memory. See, look, dude, I'm 50 years old.
What, Ken Kesey? Maybe you thought Ken Kesey.
That's where I was. Where I was going with that. Never mind. Self-correct.
No, but I want. Okay, fuck it. You forgot the dates, but why was it so high?
Well, because
why was it a high moment?
Never mind Bill Graham. It was a Bill Graham joint, but he was not there. But Ken Kesey, that was as close to an actual acid test as a person could get in the early 1990s.
Yeah.
Jerry Garcia and Ken Kesey in the same room. And Ken Kesey he had the full on a 3-ring circus ringmaster, the red thing with the hat and the whatever baton. And Ken Kesey was master of ceremonies that night.
Wow.
And they had a costume contest. And like before the show, I know what the tie to Bill Graham was, is he always had in the back of the arena, like the back half of the third of the floor, there was a volleyball net. So people could just play volleyball to kill time, and there was usually the dead shows that I saw there wasn't, because there wasn't enough room.
Mm-hmm.
But at this concert, there was a volleyball net. That was the tie to Bill Graham. Anyway, cool. But during the costume contest, and there's video of this on YouTube, like some of the costumes, they just had they picked 20 people because you couldn't do everybody,
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little kind of mini stage in between the soundboard and the stage. And there was this couple that came up and they were wearing these boxes, and the guy had, they were electrical outlets. Like he was electric plugs, right? So he had things sticking out of his costume, and the woman had receptacles, right?
Yeah.
And when they came together, which they did, they lit up.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It was intense. The place went crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You thought, okay, that's totally going to win.
Right.
But the next one was this young woman in this butterfly leotard costume situation. And as loud and as crazy as the place got for the couple that lit up when they came together, because it was great. I mean, everybody just lost their fucking minds. It was so cool. Yeah. When she stepped into the spotlight, she was so beautiful and luminescent and radiant. And she was just standing there smiling and being beautiful and radiant and luminous, not arrogant, like a fucking runway model.
Right. Right.
The place literally got quiet, and then the applause started.
Wow.
Right? Everybody was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
And they just started clapping, and it just got so loud. And Kesey was like, "We have a winner." Right? Yeah. It was a really beautiful moment.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill Graham, for elevating our, concert experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who this? I just want to reference. This is not Billy Graham.
Very different.
Very different situation.
Very different.
I would argue that Bill Graham's productions brought more people closer to God than Billy Graham's.
You heard it here, folks. I totally agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That ties a knot though from earlier with that whole podcast I was listening to, just the theatrics of it. I mean, you get people together in the room, you can get them to become incensed on goodness or evil.
Right.
Or, yeah.
That was kind of the point, is that despite, I mean, there's a dark underbelly to rock and roll.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Huh. I'm gonna butcher this quote, but Hunter Thompson said something to the effect of, the music industry is a hollow trench, something money grubbing hollow trench where good men die like dogs. And then it's followed with, and there's also a negative side to it. Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. I mean, the music industry is kind of ugly, and but that was despite all of that, at least in that particular arena, with those people, it was pure light. For
it can happen. Sometimes it can happen.
Right. I mean, I guess that was really the people in attendance were there for the beauty.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. On a large scale, there was 12,000 people there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot of concert tickets coming up, man.
What are you seeing?
Well, tonight we're seeing Thievery Corporation down at the Bourbon.
Oh, no kidding. That'll be good.
Yeah. A little down tempo dance stuff. That'll be great. I love the Thievery Corporation. And then an abundance of riches. We're going to go see New Kids on the Block.
Oh my God. That'll be fun.
I got that for Kirsten's birthday.
Always Chilling guys were talking about like one of them. I think it was Thomas. Is like the best shows he ever saw.
Yeah, that's part of why I was like, oh, buy those. But like Salt and Pepper is going to be there. It'll be
I saw that. That'll be fun.
It'll be a blast. It'll be fun.
We'll push it real good.
Push it real good. And then, well, I've got a real quandary, and I haven't even really talked to Kirsten about it. But we have tickets like front row seats or something to Bon Iver at Pinewood at the same weekend. The Dead and Company are going to be in Boulder.
Oh.
So I don't think she's keen on going to Dead and Company. So I may have to gift her and a friend of that if I go party with the boys.
Right. Did you see that thing? Because there's that Rolling Stone posted, Dead and Company are going to tour after 2022. And then somebody put on Twitter, like, Dead and Company are so slow. This could be an April Fool's joke. Yeah.
Well, because like Bob Weir was like news to me, and Billy was like, and I was like, is Bob always kind of the last to know when the tour's off, though?
Maybe.
Like, I feel like that's kind of on brand.
Might have missed the memo.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jerry's sick. We're not doing this.
Right.
I guess I'll go on a Rat Dog tour.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know how. I have a hunch. I have a hunch that Mayer did something with his people, and they told Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Mayer didn't have. He's on tour right now, and he didn't have the opportunity to tell everybody.
That's what I was wondering.
That's my thought. Is that Mayer's like,
whatever. We just need what we need is Billy Strings and Jay Lane.
Here's I mean, I'm not mad at that at all, and it's not like I want to get rid of John Mayer.
Nope. But whatever.
Matt Marnowski is going to have some thoughts on this episode when he finally gets to it. But fuck, dude, that's been a wonderful thing. That Mayer,
been a great thing.
Great thing.
Great. They can pick up the pace a little bit, but for the most part, it's been really great.
I think if they actually do bring Billy Strings on, they're going to have to.
Right. Well, we'll see. Nobody's actually saying that that's going to be a thing.
Wow, we're all kind of wanting it.
But yeah, I think we are actually like, that would be.
LaDonna posted something about it. She's like, finally, do we get some Billy Strings in there?
That's funny. Here's the thing is that, again, no disrespect, love is real, whatever. But like, there's so much amazing music out there right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to see the Dead and Company because it's in my DNA. What am I supposed to do?
You can.
Right. Exactly. And I want to go see Mickey Hart play the Beam. And, it's, Bob Weir is easily the most frustrating musician that I love ever. Because half the time I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, Bobby.
Yeah.
Then he does something so amazing, just jaw dropping, like, and there it is. That's why I keep coming.
Weirdly enough, the reason I don't feel so bad about the money I'm dropping on concert, like seeing Pearl Jam twice in the same tour, which I've never done before, which if I had the money, I'd just follow them around for this tour because whatever. But was Taylor Hawkins dying from Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I have no emotional.
I don't really. I mean, I like the Foo Fighters. I'm not a super fan of them. Like it's just whatever. But I'm like they are a big fucking deal, and they're done. Unless they bring in another drummer, which they could do.
Give it a year.
But I'm like, it made me really think about my favorite band. Mm-hmm. I'm like, one of these guys is going to die and I'm not going to get the chance to see them. And I'm going to go all out. I'm dropping a bunch of money to fly out to Vegas for one night.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm going to go to St. Louis and I'm like, I'm going to try to figure out how to see Dead and Company this tour. Mm-hmm. And I might try to see Fish too. I'm like, I don't know. Those are highfalutin dreams. I don't know if that's all going to happen, but I'm like, we get a very short amount of time with our favorite artists.
Right. And that's just it. Life is short. Buy the tickets.
Buy the fucking
tickets. You can buy the tickets. Go.
Yeah.
Yep. Me. We've been doing enough shows together. The Dead thing is kind of a pilgrimage for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm looking forward. I haven't been to a Dead show with my wife since 2005.
Are you guys going to Boulder? Which one are you guys going to?
Going to Boulder.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. We were supposed to go, in 2020 and then this COVID thing happened, but we were both really looking forward to that because it was going to be a big deal,
Yeah.
And it got canceled and whatever. I'm really I'm really looking forward to that.
Boulder's the place to be.
Yeah. Easy, 100%. Although they're really cracking down. Yeah, you got to go in a minute. They're cracking like no vending, even worse than when we've been there in the past.
Oh, really?
Like CU has shut that down.
Wow.
Not even the big commercial ones. So that's going to be a little weird. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Where we get a Jerry roll? That's all I want.
That's what I don't know, man. That's kind of a bummer. I guess we'll just, I don't know. Whatever. We'll go up to Netherlands or someplace and have a meal. I don't know.
Even that
it's kind of, because that's
even
like
that private church lot, the seedy.
Well, yeah, that we'll see how that goes. I'm sure that'll be in full swing, but that was like when we went to Alpine Valley in 2018 and there was no vending, none, not a grilled cheese sandwich to be had. It was weird. It was weird and not very cool because they fuck Alpine Valley. Legendary venue gone way, way, way south. Whatever.
The
music was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, have we done anything?
We definitely pulled out the rabbit hole. That's for sure.
All right. Oh, that's what today's thing just needs to be a rabbit out of a hat.
Well, I'm gonna find an image of Bugs Bunny tossing that hole.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to go to a tech rehearsal for the rest of the day. And then I'm going to see Thievery Corporation.
Sounds like a nice little Sunday.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be, well, we were at a show at the Lead last night after my all day work call. I'm going hard in the paint this weekend.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Buy the ticket, take the ride, y'all.
Buy the ticket, take the ride. Word.
We love you all. Toot your hooter. Toot your hooter.
Toot your hooter.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Later.
Bye.
Don't forget, toot your hooter.